now to the Western Ukraine MP, Lesha Vasilenko, who is in Ukraine at the moment. I saw your tweet today saying that you'd had to part company with your 9-month-old baby today. Just tell us what you're going through.
Well, yesterday I had to not just part with my baby girl, but also my 2 older children, and also my parents, whom I have now moved to a much safer place. But that was probably one of the toughest moments in my life, because I knew that I was leaving them and giving my children, although to close people, to relatives, but I was leaving them not knowing when exactly I will see them next.
And where are you headed now? Where are they headed now?
Unfortunately, I cannot disclose this information for obvious
not in detail,
reasons.
But you're obviously trying to get them to safety, which obviously we understand.
Yes. So I think that we can leave it at that.
Okay.
And
how worried
yes,
are you now about what's happening? Do you feel that you're getting enough support from NATO or from any other nations?
If Ukraine is to keep going at the rate that we are going, we will need more support from NATO and from all the countries in the world, in fact, because the stronger Ukraine gets and the stronger we fight back and push back on Russia's ever-escalating aggression, the more forces Russia is throwing at us. They have, it seems like, an infinite supply of men, of military, of soldiers. They have an almost 2 million strong army, and they just keep them coming. It's ridiculous, because the soldiers who are taken hostage here in Ukraine, they say that they didn't want to come here. They were just following orders. And when we uncover the faces behind the helmets, behind the military masks, we see that these are just 18, 19-year-old boys who were sent here to execute Putin's very perverted dream of rebuilding the Russian Empire, and with that, the dream of erasing Ukraine as an independent country from the face of the earth.
Okay.
But these boys who are sent here to execute that, they have nothing to do with it. They don't understand why, even.
Lesha Vasilenko, I'm so sorry we're out of time. I'm sure we'll be able to speak to you again. They're here on BBC News. Thanks for watching.
Алло, мам, привет. Привет, моя я.
Hello, Mom. Hi. Did you recognize me? I'm in the territory of Ukraine. I have been taken captive, but I'm all right. I'm on the territory of Ukraine. I'm a prisoner of war. Hey, Mom? Hey. Please listen to me carefully. I've been treated well. Please don't worry about me. But you have to contact my unit. Write it somewhere down, please. Say to them that I have been taken captive on the territory of Ukraine. When they sent us here, they said that it was going to be a peacekeeping operation on the territory of DPR and LPR. But in fact, we broke out the war. I mean, we acted as aggressors. We are bombing cities, Mom. Share this information if you can. Mom, listen please. They won't let me go because I'm in captivity. Can you get that I came here as an aggressor? That's why they won't let me go. Please do what I have asked. My name is Petruk Anton Andreevich. I was born on the 5th of July, 2000. Military Unit 91-706, Division number 150, Second Regiment. I'm a senior sniper. My rank is private. We took part in drills. After some 2 weeks, we were sent to the border with Ukraine. They said we were going to guard the border. But then suddenly, at night we crossed the border. We reached and stayed in some village. And we had no choice. After we had crossed the border, if we would have declined the order, we would have been sentenced, after returning home, to the sentence from 15 to 25 years of imprisonment. This is almost all the life. Here we are treated better than by our own command. I want to say to my mom, wait for me, I will return.
Football club owner Roman.
I've been speaking to the Ukrainian MP Anastasia Radina, who is near Kiev. I asked her how she was feeling and how last night had been.
I don't dare say anyone in Ukraine is safe right now because of air raid and air alarm that we hear all around the country, including that in western areas of Ukraine.
What was it like for you?
Would it be possible to say that I'm scared to death as a mother? I'm obviously scared to death, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
How much information are you getting about what's going on elsewhere?
We're basically seeing that they are waging a ruthless war against Ukrainian civilians. What they are doing is war crimes. They are using prohibited vacuum bombs. They are shelling and bombing peaceful, residential, densely populated areas in our city where there are no military objects and there have never been any military objects whatsoever.
You said as a mother, how are your children?
Again, I don't dare say if anyone in Ukraine is safe. I would say that what I am seeing reminds me of what I've read in history books about the Blitz of London in 1940, something that for 80 years all the civilized world is repeating would never be repeated again, and now we are seeing that repeated by Russia in Ukraine.
What are you planning to do yourself? Are you going to stay?
Yes, I am staying, obviously. I'm a member of the parliament. I have no moral right and no desire to leave whatsoever.
In your normal role in parliament, your focus is anti-corruption.
Yes.
What more would you like them to be doing in London right now about the Russian oligarchs who are here?
We are calling for all civilized world, if I may put it like this, to sanction Putin's wallets despite of their citizenship, and do not allow the West to create safe havens for people who are part of Putin's war machine. That is totally unacceptable.
The Western powers have made it clear that they are not considering a no-fly zone. They think that that would lead them into a full-scale war with Russia. When you look at recent history, whether it was the 500,000 people who have died in Syria, or the thousands and thousands who died even in the breakup of Yugoslavia, doesn't history tell you that the NATO countries will not intervene?
The NATO countries will have to intervene. And when I'm here that they are cautious because of Russian threats to use nuclear arms, my question is, what kind of message doing nothing sends to Iran? What kind of message then sends to China that you can get anything you want from international community just by scaring the world with using a nuclear bomb? Is that a safe world? Not for Ukraine, but for basically everyone everywhere around the globe. My answer is no, which basically, again, leads me to saying that NATO has to intervene. Let me tell you, if Western countries are too scared of making Russia more aggressive than it is, I frankly don't think that's possible. But still, if you're scared, my call is then for Western leaders to show the same kinds of leadership that the president of Ukraine is now showing, who is not leaving Kiev. We then call Western leaders to fly to Kiev, to fly to Lviv, to ensure at least safe air corridors and safe passage for supplies that Ukraine needs, and to ensure at least some degree of safety in Ukrainian skies.
If there is more bombing coming, and that's what it looks like, artillery and bombing, do you think you need to create safe corridors for civilians to leave the cities?
I think the key issue is ensuring security in Ukrainian sky with any option at the table. We're living at extraordinary times, and ordinary considerations should not be applicable here. Any option that would allow to ensure to secure Ukrainian sky, humanitarian airlifts as for Georgia in 2008, if I'm not mistaken, or any kind of other air corridors to provide at least some security from the sky is what we crucially need for civilian population of Ukraine.
Anastasia Radina, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Safe.